I am a person, hey, 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 hey. Hi everyone, Fat Tony That Tan Though here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of the new Botanist record 6, Flora. Botanist is a one-man black metal project that has had a number of albums released thus far. If we are to go by the Roman numerals on this record, you can assume that this is the 6th installment of the ongoing Botanist musical saga. And even though I am reviewing this project just now, I have been conscious of it for a while, and while I can't say I have been a fan of the Botanist music, I have found it pretty interesting, in that the approach taken to black metal in this project is kind of experimental. It's lo-fi. There is also hammered dulcimer. Yes, hammered dulcimer, which is a pretty strange choice for a black metal record, and on previous Botanist releases, I thought it was just a little gimmicky. However, on this latest release, we see the incorporation of some bass guitar and some harmonium. And this hammered dulcimer is typically just compressed, it's distorted, it's just overblown to the point where it sounds kind of like a distorted guitar. And now on this latest release, we are getting the inclusion of some bass and some keyboards, harmonium specifically. This record is Botanist at its most wonderful, beautiful sounding, most detailed. Botanist has one foot in the old, harsh, lo-fi world of black metal and another foot in the brave new world of black metal, where the production and the melodies typically are very bright, occasionally epic or uplifting. The music on this record sounds kind of like sun rays, or just a musical aurora borealis, or like beautiful, colorful, exotic flowers, which isn't too odd of a comparison considering that every single track on this record is named after a plant. Now, this LP is 10 tracks long, it's got an interlude at the end, and again, despite being black metal, the sound, the tone of this record is pretty warm and fuzzy. You have those wretched vocals all over this record, occasionally, some clean vocals, some whispers. Of course, there are some really aggressive drums on this thing, blast beats. But despite all that, this LP is kind of inviting. Don't go into this thing expecting that big, polished, soaring sound that you would get on like a Deaf Heaven record or a Wolves in the Throne Room record. Botanist style is much more raw, visceral, and direct. And the inclusion of hammered dulcimer, just like on previous releases, continues to give Botanist a sound like no other black metal project. The sustain on the dulcimer is amazing for this style of music, as well as the very metallic tone of these notes. The instrumentation a lot of the time sounds gorgeous, just as it does on tracks like the opener, STARGAZER, or CALLISTEMON. And even though the melodies on this record can sound beautiful, things can take a turn for the dark really quickly. Just like on the track CINNAMOMUM PARTHEXNOXYLON, where the melody here is so devilish that even the bright hammered dulcimer can't distract away from how just evil this lead is. I wish the vocals were a little louder sometimes though. They do sound quite harsh, but they are mixed very low. It's kind of like having somebody in a very scary way whisper to you as you press your ear against this wall of gorgeous sound. The sound really draws you in, but the moment you get, really comfortable with it and you feel immersed in it, you sort of find that there's this really just odd, shadowy figure walking through it. Which for me was the case on the track PTERIDOPHYTE, where the melody on this track is very lullaby-ish. There are a few songs where the sustain of the hammered dulcimer, maybe brought together with the harmonium, makes for a particularly drony soundscape, very relaxing, very gorgeous. There are a few tracks here and there where you get a little bit of odd time signature stuff, and the song just before the closer is one of the most aggressive, propulsive, hard-hitting songs on the entire LP. This record really ends off with a bang. I think compositionally, this record has quite a bit of variety to it, even if the very rough and lo-fi production leaves a lot of these songs feeling a little samey. But even if all these tracks have a similarly hazy and fuzzy feel to them, it's really the compositions underneath that just attract me. There are maybe 2 or 3 songs on this thing where I feel like maybe melodically these tracks are a little too basic. I wish that the harmonium came in and did a little bit more, or the bass, or that I just wasn't getting some basic hammered dulcimer chords, specifically on tracks like Dianthus. But still, I came away from this album loving it. I think this is Botanist's most complex and interesting album yet, and I look forward to seeing this musical project progress into the future. I'm feeling a light to decent 8 on this thing. Transition, if you've given this record a listen, what did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, Botanist, music forever.